Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Seth Reed. I am the son of Mike Reed, Mike Survivor, and he's been asking me for a long time to start doing videos on like cooking and making sauerkraut and other fermented things that I do. So here we go. Today we're going to be making sauerkraut. I'm going to show you guys all the ingredients and all of the tools and stuff that I use that you need to do this, and then I'll go through and step by step I'll make it for you, show you how I do it. It's really simple. So to start out with, I'm going to show you the tools that we're going to need. First of all, you're going to need something to shred your cabbage with. I use this attachment for my KitchenAid here. It's just a cutter that goes in the KitchenAid. Goes right on there. Simple as that. The next thing you're going to need is a bowl to mix your cabbage in. You don't have to have a lid, but the way I do it, I use a lid, so I'll show you later on how that is. You're going to need something to smash your kraut with, unless you want to massage it for 30 minutes. I don't like doing that. But that's another way you can do it, and I'll talk about that later on too. But and you need this to pack it in your jar. A scale to measure your ingredients, and of course you're going to need a jar with a weight to hold your cabbage down underneath the top of the liquid, because you don't want anything sticking up when you're done or it'll get moldy. Of course, a lid and an airlock. Now this is also called a burper. It's just got a little hole in the end of the rubber so that it lets off gases. It's just like an airlock, except it's a really simple design. And of course, for the ingredients, kosher salt or canning salt. You don't want to use table salt because it's got iodine in it. You can use pretty much any salt that you know doesn't have iodine or anti-caking agents in it that'll interfere with the fermentation of your cabbage. And lastly, anything you want to put in it. So you can put caraway seeds, you can put dill. I prefer this Hatch chili pepper crushed stuff from McCormick's. I like the way it tastes. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is cut our cabbage and weigh it. I like to start by cutting right down the middle. And especially with this red cabbage, you're going to see the core. And you just want to cut that out too. Now you want to take off the outside of this. Take off at least one layer and keep 2 or 3 of these behind, because you're going to use them later on in the process. Alrighty, now that we've got our cabbage cut up, we're going to weigh it. Now, before anybody says anything, I know this is America, and I know we use anything but the metric system to measure stuff with. But it's much easier to divide and multiply by tens, so we're using the metric system today. Sorry. What we're going to shoot for, I found about 800 grams of raw cabbage. Fits quite nicely in a quart mason jar. So that's what we're kind of looking for, is about 800 grams. And it's usually about 1.5 heads of cabbage, of this little red cabbage. So I got 859 grams. And now comes the fun part. We're going to cut up our cabbage in pieces that'll fit inside of the cabbage shredder and start shredding. And there you have it, guys. That's about 850 grams of shredded cabbage ready to be turned into yummy, yummy sauerkraut. Now, I don't know, you probably can't tell from here, but this bowl is about halfway full. When we get done salting and mixing and pounding, this is going to shrink up by probably 30%, so it's going to get a lot smaller. See, right now it would never fit in this jar, but once we get the salt in it and it starts to shrink up and release the juice inside of it, then it'll be able to fit in the jar. Time for the salt. What you're shooting for when you're making sauerkraut is a ratio of 2% salt to your cabbage. So that being said, we start out with about 850 grams. So 10% of 850 is 8.5. So double that is 17. So 17 grams of salt is what we're going to be mixing in with this cabbage to make our sauerkraut. And that's why I use the metric system, guys, because you can just do, there's no a quarter of a teaspoon here and then you don't know, like it's by weight, you just do it. It's super easy. I like it that way. So we're going to do 17 grams. Now I don't have much to say about the seasonings you want to put in other than do it to your taste. Try out, see what you like. Personally, I use a half a jar of this Hatch chili crushed pepper stuff from McCormick's. It's 35 grams, so I'll be using 17.5 grams, which actually is just about as much as I use the salt. It's almost half and half. So there we go. Now comes the most tedious part of this whole thing. Which isn't bad, but this part does take about a half an hour if you do it right. So you're gonna mix up your salt and your other ingredients. Give it a sprinkle onto your cabbage. Hope that it doesn't take a half an hour to get this lid on. I'll cut a lot of that out. That was painful. Now just give it a good shake. Ta-da! Alright, now that it's all mixed up, now you can either let it sit here and start to juice, or like I like to do, I like to start pounding it immediately just to make sure that all the salt gets dissolved and all the juices that's already in that cabbage. I talked about earlier about there's another method to do this, and that's to take the sauerkraut by hand and massage it and squeeze it with your hands until the juice starts to come out. I don't know about you, but I don't have the strength to squeeze it for a half an hour. I give it a good pound, and then I let it sit for 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and then just repeat for about a half an hour until your cabbage is visibly shrunk and started to release all of the juice in the cabbage. All right, now in case you're wondering where I got my supplies from, these are just regular old wide mouth quart jars. Be mason ball, it doesn't matter. This tamper I've got here, I got from Amazon. It's called the One Bite. The One Bite. I think it costs, I think it's like $16 or $17. Same with your glass weights here. I got these from Amazon. I don't remember the brand name. They were just kind of the cheapest ones I found. And your airlock as well came from Amazon. Again, just maybe not the cheapest one I found, but definitely like the overall pick from Amazon. All right, guys, after about a half an hour of mix and tamp, now comes the fun part, putting your kraut in the jar. So we're gonna start out by putting just a layer about an inch thick. And what we want to do is just give it a light tap going all the way around, all the sides, in the middle. And you should hear it squeak. It should sound like it's squishing juice out. And if you just press on it, at this point, with only an inch in there, you shouldn't really see too much juice coming out. But on your next fill up or two, you'll start to see the juice coming out of the kraut, or the cabbage. It's not kraut yet, it's cabbage. And there we go. It's starting to make its own juice. I'm going to try to answer a couple of questions that I forgot to address beforehand, that some of you guys may be asking or thinking. Did I clean any of this stuff? Or disinfect it? Disinfect it? No. Clean it? Yeah, run it through the dishwasher. The tamper, obviously don't do that. It's not dishwasher safe. Just give it a good wash with soap and water. And don't clean your cabbage, because you want the natural yeast and the bacteria on that cabbage is what's going to do the fermenting. The 2% salt solution that's in here, that inhibits the bad bacteria from growing and allows the good bacteria that you want to flourish in there and to do its thing. You go about an inch at a time and just pack it in the jar. It's as simple as that. If you give it a good press, you want to see some of those natural juices start to come up to the top of your cabbage. And there we have it, guys. Almost perfect. 850 grams of cabbage, 17 grams of salt, and 17.5 grams of McCormick's Hatch chili pepper. And we got about 1.5 inches worth of headspace in here left, which is perfect. Just perfect. So 1.5 cabbages, shredded, salted, tamped, fits in a 1-quart mason jar. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is clean off the little bits and pieces from this jar, so that we don't want any little bits and pieces floating on top of our brine when we get done, because it'll just get moldy. Once it's moldy, you're done. You can't eat it. And the mold will grow down in there. It's stinky. It's bad for you. Probably kill you. I don't know. But I know a long time ago I had one that was moldy and it just stank, and I just threw it all away. But using this method, I've had no moldy ones at all, and I've been doing this now for about 6 months. So that's not a long time, but this method really works. Now remember before I said keep the outside pieces of your cabbage. What you're going to do is use that to squish down your shredded cabbage. Kind of like a barrier between the air and your cabbage. A lot of people aren't going to like this. Your cabbage is going to naturally release a lot of juices during fermentation, and so your airlock is going to increase with pressure, and sometimes you may get a little bit leaking out, but eventually it's all going to reabsorb. And I'll show you that in just a second. So I have a 2% brine solution here. that I just top her off with. Leave about a 1/2 inch of headspace. You take your fermentation weight and drop it right down in there. And then, like I said, you want about a 1/2 inch of headspace left, so just go dump some of it out if you have too much. There we go. Get these itty bitty pieces out of here. Hit it with an airlock. Oh, and the neat thing about these is, today is the 29th, so I can spin around my little burper to the day, 29, so I know when I made it. And there you have it. Okay guys, now what you're gonna do is take that, set it out of direct sunlight, pretty much anywhere you want to. I set mine on my counter, just out of the window. I don't put it downstairs in the dark, where it's 65 degrees probably. It's 72 in here. I just set it over just on the countertop next to the fish tank so I can watch it, clean it up when it overflows and stuff. And I like mine to go for 11 days. It's just my preference. It's tangy. It's really good. You can try it at 9, 10. See what you like. I mean, you can go up to. You can leave it as however long you want to. That being said, it will ferment in your refrigerator just really slowly. So if you get done and you put the lid on it, you take your airlock off, put your regular wide mouth lid on there, and you notice it's got pressure in it, just relieve it. It's fine. It will ferment very slowly inside of your fridge. It does in mine. It doesn't hurt anything, and it's not going to explode in your refrigerator. It's never going to build up that much pressure. But it's also not botulism like some people would think. It's just, that's the thing. Now I'm going to show you the difference between a 8-day-old kraut and the kraut I just made. I would like to stay in front of the camera and do this, but the lighting really doesn't allow me to do that. So I'm going to go around with a flashlight and I'm going to show you and talk to you. So here on the right, we've got today's. See how it's purple? It looks just like the cabbage out of the store. If you come over here, 8 days later, what? Now it's kind of pink. Well, why is that? It's because whatever color, whatever chemical makes the kraut purple is a type of a litmus, like a litmus paper. And the lower the pH, the more that the cabbage will turn a pinkish red color. And exactly the opposite, if the pH goes up, it will turn like a really baby blue color. It's pretty cool. Guys, I think that's it. I can't really think of nothing else to talk about right now. I really hope you enjoyed my video here. I hope you learned something. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, you want me to do a ferment on anything, you can ferment anything. This just happens to be fermented cabbage, which is kraut. Anything but kimchi. I haven't figured out how to make kimchi yet. But yeah, cucumbers, I've done carrots, celery, really good. Tomatoes, garlic. Yeah, if you want to see any video or anything, just leave me a comment. Let me know. You guys have a good day. Thanks. So if any of you are wondering, Seth, why by using red cabbage. Because I like the taste of it better than green cabbage. To me, it just tastes better. And two, the red coloring in it is supposed to be really good for your heart. And green cabbage don't have that. But you can absolutely use green cabbage. I doubt it tastes any different, but to me it does. So that's why we're using red cabbage. A quick update to my math for those of you who caught on earlier. I haven't edited this video yet even, and it just popped into my head. 1% of 850 is 8.5, not 10. Do the math right.